Hi, I'm Carol Berglund and welcome to my YouTube channel. I do acrylic pour paintings on this channel. I do other paintings as well, but this YouTube channel is specifically for acrylic pour paintings. Please watch, you might find it very informative and fun. And if you like what you see, give me a like, share it, and subscribe. It's free. Hello, this is Carol Berglund with Carol's Art Creations. Sorry my video is jiggles. As I've said before, I've got my camera mounted on a piece of angle iron, so it's easily jiggly. At any rate, good evening. And tonight I'm going to do a late night pour. I haven't poured in a while. And you'd understand when you get into this art, you get kind of addictive and you need your pour. Anyway, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do tonight, but I have some leftover paints. As usual, spritz the back of the canvas, taped it off, put in my push pins, and now ready to rock and roll. Not even sure what I want to do tonight. Flip cup, ring pour. Maybe I'll just throw some paint on there. Anyway, I think I'll start with coating the background. This nice black. This is mixed with Floetrol water. 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint, and water is needed. And this is the, I believe it's Mars Black. Yes, it's the Mars Black by Liquitex. So I'm just going to get started. Pour this around. While I'm doing this, I'll be thinking about what kind of pour do I want to do. I need this as stress relief. I'm also a realtor here in Sequim, Washington in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Right now our market is hot. I've been working and it's really tiring. But it'll be good when it works out. I just smooth this out. And I'm thinking more like a sturdy pour tonight. Just put it in a cup, pour it, and see what comes out. One of the things I noticed in my last video is I kept saying the same things over and over about mixing with Floetrol and that kind of thing. So I think what I'll do is just reference it briefly and then shut up about it. And I think I'll give you a break while I get this coated. So hang on. Okay, I'm back. I finally got this thing coated. I had to use my special tool. Kind of like putting icing on a cake. You keep scraping the edges, then you got to recover them. So if you've ever frosted a cake, this will come as second nature. And tonight I've got a new vinyl tablecloth down, so it's like a virgin. Oops, no longer. Paint on it already. Oh well. Kind of try to keep them clean at first, which is ridiculous. But anyway, I got a nice black coat down. And tonight I want to use up some paints. And these are the ones that I had used. Let me show you the pour that I did. Pour I showed you in the last video too. I haven't poured in a while, so I got to pour one tonight. Even though I'm dead tired, I just need to do it. So I think I'm going to put this all in a cup and pour it out. So I'm just going to put this in a measuring cup. I like to squirt it with a little WD-40. Kind of helps it come out, but you must wipe it out. Some people like to use WD-40 to create cells, and of course you need the kind with silicone in it. I've not had this create cells for me. So let's layer up a cup. I got the Payne's Gray. It's a 2-to-1 mixture Floetrol, a little bit of water to thin. And consistency, you want it to just run off like warm honey. This makes a little bit of mound and circle, but it sinks, disappears in. Now let me start with the Payne's Gray. And that should give us a nice dark center. And then I'm going to pour these down the spout. Hopefully it'll ease down and not overmix. And this is an aqua color. I believe it is like a Bright Ocean is the name of it. And this is my copper. This one was Liquitex, by the way. This one was just a Craftsman little 2-ounce bottle. And this one is the Americana Decor copper. And I put just a bit of burnt sienna in there just to make the color a little deeper. And then this is a green color I mixed up, and I put a little bit of the Americana 24 karat gold in here. And I'm sitting here racking my brain for the green color. Maybe it'll come to me later. So let's put a little green on that copper. I think I want to put just a little bit of white. I don't want to put the Payne's Gray next to the green. Sometimes that can make an ugly color. A little bit of white. Looks like I may have enough paint for a small pour. So I may try the Dutch pour. And the copper. That is just a little over 8 ounces, about 9 ounces. And I think this canvas is a 16 by 20. Probably could use a little more paint on it, but I do have down the base coat. It helps it to slide, and it also helps to cover the canvas so that you don't need as much paint. Okay, so I've got my cup layered. You can pour it out and wring it, or you can jiggle it, or you just do a straight pour. I think I'm just going to do a straight pour. There comes the Payne's Gray, so now I'm getting to the bottom of the cup. catch that drip. Yeah, I'm not always successful doing that, especially late at night. So I've got these little sandwich toothpicks. They come in handy. Just kind of gotta go in the center and swirl this around just a little bit nicer. Hopefully. I wonder if my paints are a little too thin, or the paint it's hitting up next to is a little bit thinner. I'm going to let that sit for just a minute. And you'll always hear us artists tell you that once you pour it, just let it sit, don't touch it, be patient. And it's just like when you put marinade on meat. You let it sit so it marinates and the flavor exchanges. So this lets this sit. And if there's any little bubbly action, air bubbles or little cells that come up. I wasn't sure I'd get cells, it's just Floetrol. There's no silicone in this paint. But yeah, I see a little cell coming up. That's why we like to let it rest. And here's my stick. And I'm just making up a little more of this paint so that I can have it ready to put around if I need to kind of help the paint flow. Most pours I find it's helpful. I can't stand paint on my brand new tablecloth. Which ultimately it's going to get splattered and painted up. If you saw my last video, you'd go, yeah. That one was at the end of its shelf life. And then two, I think in my last video, I knocked over two of my colors of paint. Pretty sure I was drinking. Move this cup out of the way. Paint spreads like Vaseline. So let's see. Just this one cell. Interesting. Gotta keep this tablecloth clean for just one session. So okay, I think I'm going to give this a torch to pop those air bubbles. See if we can get some more cells coming up. Do it in my base coat too. Gotta be careful not to over torch. I did that on one of my pours and I got these little little like scratch marks. And I do think it is from the heat where I left it just a little too long and it crackled. Okay. I'm anxious to tilt it. But you know what? I'm going to pause this and I'm going to go make me a drink, non-alcoholic, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, I'm back. I to go take my night meds. Like most Americans, I'm on a few little pills. Gotta support Big Pharma. Anyway, it's so interesting how this one is this big cell, and it's got copper and blue and some of the black coming through, and it's just like wows. Some of the paint's gray. This is spread out a little bit, and I think it's time to tilt. And as usual, that green color, boy, green really, really can take over. I wonder how big this cell is going to stretch out. Back to the center. That one cell is really stretching out. Could wind up tipping off enough and that becoming an eye. The idea is to move your paint around slowly, bring it back to center, and then move it out toward the edges. Any little cells that pop up get stretched. As you can see, that one cell is becoming much, much bigger. Now let's see if I can open up some of these rings. I'll tilt down toward the corner here. Oh, I'm seeing little things pop up and I really don't want to get rid of them. Right now it almost looks like a big fisheye looking up at me. This is one of the things I really love about this art is you just never know what to expect. It's never the same. Every pour is its own. And there's infinite possibilities. You could just never create the same two twice using the same colors. Same size canvas, anything. Okay, so this is stretching out some of the rings, starting to look really pretty. And that eyeball really looks like an eyeball. Cool. We come down toward this corner. And I don't mind a little negative space. And by that we mean leaving black edges. Oh my. Come on back to center. I'll go for that corner. Try to get all of it covered. That big eyeball is starting to look like Saturn. Wow. Now let's see how much of this other corner I can get covered. And I think I'm loving this. It is so cool and unexpected. I tend to get some wonky lines because I keep teeter-tottering trying to get corners covered. I probably don't add quite enough paint. And I think the reason why is I'm trying to do this on a budget. But I have invested in some of the better paints. It does make a difference. Alright, I'm going to set this down and take a look at this. It almost looks like two eyes Don't let me hold my hands over this painting. Let me wipe my hands off. You don't want to drip in your painting. How many times did I do that to learn that lesson? More than once. More than twice. I think even more than 3 times. Now I think about it. Oh wow, look at this, just popping up. Interesting. Go tilt it back just a little bit this way. I really don't want this to run off. I really do love these little cells. Looks like a mini Saturn. Kind of looks like Saturn. Then boom, 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 all these pop out. That's cool. No, I don't want to lose you. Tilt it back this way just a wee bit. I want him in the picture. Mini Saturn. Right. I think I'm done. That is so unique. This swirl here that's not as pronounced as here with the color, but still very similar. So very interesting. And it's like these are little planets with maybe some meteors coming in out there. Nebula is starting to form. I like to make up little stories. When I first got into art, I listened to Bob Ross a lot, and he always talked about make up little stories. And I do paint regular paintings, landscapes and flowers and stuff, but I really enjoy the pour painting. You can do it so quick and just create a wonderful art. It always surprises you. You can't predict. So it's just a great hobby for me. I just love surprises. Good surprises, I might add. So when you do want to work on your corners, try to find a paint that's close by that dripped off of it, so you get a better color match. And just pour it on the corner and let it drip down. You can do what we call finger pop it, just press it and it smashes the color. But I think it looks nicer if you just take the moment and the time to pick up the coordinated color droppings. Another important thing is to go underneath and scrape off the drips. As you pour it over, the color runs and it drips. If you scrape them off, it stops the color from pulling and pulling off the sides. It'll keep more color on your canvas that way. You know, I was so tired and I really didn't feel like doing anything tonight but vegging on the couch. I'm so glad that I didn't. So glad I created some art. I feel better already. I'm walking around the table, so I don't have to pick this up and turn it. Okay. I'm totally leaving it. I so love that. Reminds me of space. I love space. Love to read about sci-fi. It's one of my favorite genre of books. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Wow, you guys ought to give this a try. This is awesome. Oh, look at these cells coming up. Actually, I think I'm going to torch it one more time and see if we can get a little bit more. You've got this kind of smooth area with no cell action, and it's happening over here and in here. But I love that. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. Totally leaving that. Alright guys, until next time, I can't wait to pour again. Hope you had a good night. I hope you enjoyed my art. So when I get this YouTube video uploaded and get myself in action, please give me a like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.